Hey everybody, so I decided to do a kind of a video blog about my change of careers. So these are going to be videos that are not edited, and I may or may not even have lipstick or anything on. I do today because I have a speech therapy, a couple of speech therapy things I've got to do today. So my backstory is that I've been a speech pathologist for 26 years, and I decided about 4 years ago to do some consulting in the tech world. I love using technology and speech therapy services, and so I got really involved and realized I really love technology. And I didn't really realize that. I was a little girl in the 70s, and in the 70s I was really taught that girly girls don't do science and math well. And unfortunately, I think that little girls are still being taught that in some places. So I was 40 before I realized that I was really good at technology, and I started looking into that, and just by happenstance, I got invited to join an organization called the Association for Competitive Technology. The App Association is their tagline, and what they go by now. I got asked to speak at South by Southwest on a panel on autism and apps, and that was really one of my focuses at the time. I have training in the DIR floor time method, which is Stanley Greenspan's method of working with kids with autism, and I also loved iPads and apps at the time. So that was about 6 years ago. I think it was in 2011 or something like that. So I was asked to be on this panel kind of at the last minute. I think it was about 3 weeks before the conference, and I was asked to sub in, and I was super excited. I really knew nothing about South by Southwest, but I love new opportunities. So I went and did that, and someone in my audience worked for the Association for Competitive Technology, and Jonathan Godfrey, and Jonathan asked me to come to their fly-in in DC, and it was like 3 weeks after that. And so I was like, okay, I'll go. So I went, and it turned out it was 49 tech company CEOs and app developers and me. So I started just being thrown into the world of technology with that, and I've met so many wonderful people through that organization that have helped me really change my career and change my life. At the time, I really wasn't thinking about changing careers. I was a speech pathologist. I had a private practice. I didn't have any employees. It was just me. And by being around these CEOs and entrepreneurs, I started really wanting to grow my business. So I started adding employees to my speech therapy business. And then about 18 months ago, I decided I wanted to pivot out of speech therapy. The reimbursement has gotten really bad. It's become a very difficult business to make money in. And I was probably having some burnout as well, having done it for so long. So I started making a decision to exit myself from my own company and spend less and less time in my speech therapy company and more time growing a consulting company. I have run into lots of mind shift issues, mindset issues, money mindset issues, imposter syndrome, you name it, I have probably run into it. So my therapy company has been a six-figure business for many, many years. So trying to up-level my business and my own salary beyond six figures has been really a lot of personal work and personal and professional growth. So the first thing I did was I hired a business coach, and I hired someone locally, and she was really a cheerleader for me and was very encouraging, but I quickly outgrew her. I am able to make decisions extremely quickly, and if someone gives me advice to do something and I feel like it's good advice, I do it immediately. So if a business coach or another coach gives me advice to do something, I literally act on it that day, and so I can move very quickly through programs. So I kind of moved through her program extremely quickly, and I started looking for another business coach. And I ended up working with Natalie Ekdahl of Biz Chicks, and she made a tremendous difference in my business. So I worked with her one-on-one a couple of times, I think, and then I joined one of her mastermind programs where I was working with, I think, 6 other women who had 6-figure businesses. And I really grew my speech therapy business through that, which literally kept that business in operation. If I wouldn't have grown it the way I did, I would not have been it would not have been financially viable because of all the changes in the reimbursement from insurance. So I grew that, and I became more and more interested in growing my consulting business, which I've been growing, but really struggling with selling it, and really struggling with not wanting to be salesy, and feeling like I had an issue with being able to be a salesperson, and imposter syndrome, and all of those kind of things. So I worked with the mastermind program, and then decided to take a break from that and really implement everything I learned and go forward. In that time period, I also wrote 3 books that I published on Amazon, and I wrote an online course. All of those books are basically about apps and speech therapy or augmentative communication, which is my speech therapy niche. So all of that was going well. I was not good at selling the books, not good at selling the course, still working on that. So currently I am doing a program called Rewire. It's a wealth and financial management course. And I am also doing a selling course from the sales maven, Nikki Roush, and really focusing on the financial piece of my mindset. So that is where I am today, and I'll be back soon with more info about my journey from being a speech pathologist to running a tech empire.